Welcome to Your Unapologetic Life, the show where we do not play it safe. I'm your host, Morgan Barkus. I've got a master's in marriage and family therapy. I've read the books, studied the theories, and I also spent 13 years as a stripper. So, yeah, I've had real life education too. I help high achieving women feel gorgeous naked, confident in bed, and proud of every inch of themselves. Whether it's solo or with a partner, I coach women to stop faking, stop freezing, and start fully feeling. If you want to feel sexy, powerful, and fully free in your body, I'm your fairy Samantha Jones godmother. Let's talk about what she would never apologize for and what you're about to claim for yourself. I was today years old when I put this together. A lot of the women that I work with, they tell me that they learned about sex by watching TV or porn. And yikes. I mean, it's so unrealistic. I mean, you think about movies and people are barely making it through the door and they're ripping each other's clothes off. And I think that doesn't happen. I mean, in all the years I've had experiences with men, that happened one time, and I accidentally broke the guy's glasses, and then killed the mood because I was like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry, I broke your glasses." And it's so. I mean, life is not like the movies. And then porn, that's a whole other thing. I mean, bless them. They're actors and actresses doing their thing, and I love that for them. And it's not realistic. I mean, how often? I mean, I don't like porn, to be honest. I think the acting is hideous and the storyline is garbage. And it's usually some stupid plot about the male's pleasure and some weird fantasy he's got. You want to sleep with your wife's stepdaughter, whatever the fuck. Like, you do you. But to me, the storylines are terrible, and I don't like that kind of stuff. So I don't like porn. I think it's terrible. If you're into it, have fun with it. I don't like it. And I know there are certain women that, because most of the directors and producers of porn are men. And so they're making porn that men want to see. Realistically, 18% of women are having orgasms through penetrative sex. That means 82% of women are either not orgasming or it's not penetrative sex that's getting them off. So if you're watching what's happening in movies, one time I was watching a movie with this guy and this couple was fighting and it was a toxic relationship. And then the guy basically pressed the woman against the wall and they started having sex. And then he came moments later and it was over. And I thought, wow, how fun for her. And I rolled my eyes and I actually said that out loud. And he's like, "You don't know that." I said, "The fuck I don't." I said, "I know that was not fun for her." I mean, that's not how the woman's body works. It's just not going to happen that way. Thank you very much. Like, I think I have a little more experience in this area than you do. So, um, the reality is, if women are watching movies and porn and thinking, "Oh, is that wow, I mean, she's like screaming after 7 seconds. Is that what I mean, she's like into this. Is that position a good one? Because I don't know that I like that position. Or I don't even know if I can do that thing." Again, I'm not a porn expert by any stretch of the imagination. And I was today years old, like I said, when I realized I didn't get my information from movies and porn. I got it from music. And that is also extremely inaccurate. And what's ironic is that so the first time I ever thought, "Oh, I want to have sex," was when I listened to LL Cool J's song, "Hey Lover." Oh my goodness. When I heard that song, I was a teenager and I was like, I think I want to have sex with a man. Now, I had had solo sex, so it wasn't like I'd never had an orgasm, and I had never had sex. And I waited till I was 21 cuz I was very knowledgeable at sex, very curious. I read a lot of books, I had a lot of questions. So for me, I wasn't like willing to just go have sex with anybody and experiment with anybody. I really wanted to be ready myself. And so I really waited until I felt ready and found a partner that I wanted to experience that first time with. That being said, when I was in high school, I was probably a senior in high school, I think. So I was around like 18 or 19 years old. And I thought, oh, I think I want to have sex. And the irony is that that song, if you are familiar with the lyrics, it's very female pleasure focused. Like this dude, I'm gonna share some of the lines with you. You could just Google "Hey Lover" by LL Cool J lyrics and find it. But basically, I mean, the man is like, "We caught eyes," and here I'm running through this real fast. I don't mean to waste your time here, but he's talking about catching eyes. I want to hold you in my arms and ease your fears. I wanna lay you on your stomach and caress your back, and I was like, "Okay." He talks about eye contact, that's a big thing that women like. He said something about there's one about marriage, like, he actually wanted to not just, like, have sex with this woman, he actually wanted to have a relationship and get married, have a committed relationship. So, like I'm saying, this was my first experience listening to music going, oh, wow. So a man can be that kind of lover where he's generous and attentive. He wants to be gentle. He said, "I touched you gently with my hands." We talked about traveling the distant lands, escaping all this madness out here in the world, becoming my wife, no longer my girl. Here's a guy who's into commitment. He wants to hold hands and have eye contact and travel the world and sign me up. And it just, to me, it was like this, well, and there was another song he did too that I really liked. So, I don't know how I got my hands on that CD when I was in high school, and I did. And that was the first time that I heard music and was like, "Oh, wow. So this is what sex could look like." Or I guess that's not true. It's not like I'd never seen a movie that I don't think I saw porn at that time. I mean, I'm in the age where there wasn't internet. So I don't remember ever being online and like seeing porn. Um not that there weren't VHS tapes in the world. And I remember, I mean, those of you that are 40 plus, you remember like video stores. I remember one we had, I'm from a small town in Wisconsin. So we had this one place and there was like, it wasn't even a Blockbuster. I don't remember what it was, but there was a special room with a red door or a curtain or something. I don't know that I ever went in there because I don't know. I gotta say, like videos and porn has never been intriguing to me. I'm more visual audio, so I like to read things but I also like to understand. So it's not just like I want to be stimulated. I want to understand. I want to learn. So that's why, like my mom said, I like as soon as I could talk, she said you were asking me questions, and the questions kept coming, and I had to figure out how to answer them, and then I had to get age appropriate books, and like you had all the questions about sex, and so it wasn't from like a voyeuristic standpoint or like a novelty. It was like I wanted to understand and I wanted to learn, and so I don't think that I ever had like that need or drive to fulfill fantasies or I don't know, and maybe just because we had such candid conversations in my household, like nudity wasn't a big deal, and it was just like I grew up in a hippie house. Like we weren't weird about bodies and sexuality. What's interesting, I guess, is that that was my first experience with music that talked about sex. And it was in a very generous way, like a man who's focused on a woman's pleasure and caring for her and taking care of her. And as as the years went on and I listened to more and more music, I mean, I don't want to name names, but I'm going to name some names because, like, for instance, I absolutely love Too Short. He's one of my favorite rappers. Him and Twista, like, favorite rappers. It takes me back to my early 20s, mid 20s. And I think they're geniuses at what they do. That being said, if a man talked to me the way Too Short talks about women in his songs, I would be like, "Fuck off, fuck all the way off." Like, I would never want to be with a man who thinks about or talks to a woman the way that Too Short raps. Now, I don't know if that's the way he is in real life. It could just be how he does his lyrics. Good on you, do you. I get it. Great music. I'm a big fan. Like, truly. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think of my favorite songs by Too Short, and I'm looking at my playlist right now. Now Freak a Leak, that's another song by Petey Pablo. I love that song. But part of his lyrics are basically when he's saying if you want your pussy licked, you're going to have to get it by another bitch because I ain't drunk enough to do that shit. So it's like, oh, okay, so you want to plow me, but you don't actually want to pleasure me, you know? So it's just, it goes back to, oh, here we go. So Too Short, Moneymaker, definitely one of my favorite songs of all time. Um, he's got another one. Why can't I think of it right now? See, I love a list and I love a playlist because I can't remember things off the top of my head. There you go. Anyway, he's got another one that I love. Moneymaker's one of them, but then there's Strippers and Gangsters. Is that the one? I love that one too. Um, so, and I'm just thinking about, and I remember I hearing a story about years ago when Ludacris was going to go to a college campus or something, and some of the women were protesting because they're like, his lyrics are so misogynistic. We will not support him being here. And I think he ended up not going because there was such a controversy. I'd have to look it up. I don't remember all the details. I just remember that I was listening to something where they were talking about the misogyny in some music. And I'm thinking about, all through my 20s and 30s listening to all this music I listened to, and I completely forgot about or moved away from the lyrics of the likes of LL Cool J, where and I'm not saying he's a saint. I don't know. I don't listen to all his music. There were two songs that I really liked that hit me in a certain kind of way where I was like, oh, is this how sex could be? Where it's gentle and soft and female focused and someone's attending to you and taking care of you and loving you and wanting to be with just you versus bitches and hoes and how do you want it? And I mean, because I feel like a lot of songs are misogynistic and the lyrics are all about women pleasuring men. They're not rapping about how they love to go down on a woman and make her feel good and taken care of no matter how long it takes, and that she's exquisite the way she is, and how everybody's so different and they love learning a woman. And like you think about, now I'm going to do a podcast on the book She Comes First by Ian Kerner. He's a licensed marriage and family therapist, and he belongs to the American Association of Sex Therapists. And I'll talk about that in another podcast because that book I can't speak highly enough about. And um, really just wanted to talk about this topic in terms of misogyny in music because I want women to think about where they're getting their information, because that's what thinking about the women that I talk to and the fact that they're getting their information from movies or porn. And I think, okay, where did I get my information? And in the earlier years, it was books and like I said, that first song I heard by LL Cool J, and I was like, oh, okay, so this could be a sexual experience. And yet, years after that, I was listening to nothing but music that didn't really talk about prioritizing women in any way, shape, or form, and basically using them and expecting them to service you as a man. And I was like, okay, wait a second. Oh, okay, wait a second. And I have noticed that I don't listen to that kind of music as much. And I have this exotic dance workshop that's coming up, and I have a whole playlist I've had for years, and some songs I take off and some I add as I hear them or whatever. And a lot of them, it's really an eclectic mix because I like to demonstrate to the women that I teach that you can dance to anything in a very slow, sensual way. So, I mean, I have things by Prodigy. I have Closer by 9 Inch Nails. I've got a lot of hip hop and R&B because I like that, but also like EDM and house music because it's not about staying on the beat, it's like staying 2 beats under the beat, if that makes sense. Like there's really a way to dance and in when you're doing exotic dance that slows everything down and can turn almost any song into something very slow and sexy. So anyway, my playlist, I was going through it today and listening to it as I was, preparing for this workshop that I'm going to teach soon. And that's what got me thinking about these lyrics, and it hit me because I was, like, jamming out in my Toyota Tacoma on my way to Chicago to go to the studio and practice and spend time, in the studio dancing, and I thought, "Wow, okay, so if I didn't get my information from movies and porn, where a lot of women get their information and think that's what sex is, for years and years and years, a good decade and a half, if not 2 decades, I was listening to music that was extremely misogynistic. No wonder I had so many partners that were selfish lovers or had no idea what they were doing. Female and male anatomy were very different. I mean, dudes biologically need to spray as quickly as possible if they are going to procreate with as many females as possible and keep their genetic pool going, right? I mean, in the animal kingdom, it's not like they're taking their time and, usually there's threats around and they got to be fast. And so, for guys, it's just biologically different. And for women, it's time and it's mood and it's and not for everybody. If you've read the book the Pleasure Blueprint by Jaya, she talks about everybody's different blueprints. I mean, different people are into different things. And anatomically, women do not orgasm in 5 minutes. The more you practice solo sex, just like anything, whether you're exercising or doing solo sex, the more you do something, the better you get at it, right? The more in tune you are with your body, the more you understand your body. And so your orgasms can come quicker depending on the person's willingness, technique, and enthusiasm, and ability to take directions. And I will say that women are built so different, and the movies don't reflect that. Most porn doesn't reflect that. And as I realized today, the music I was listening to was not reflecting that either. And I was taking in that music and taking in that music, and you can't help but get programmed. I mean, I am a feminist. Like years ago when I was in graduate school, I was like, I'm not a feminist. Somebody said, oh, something about me being a feminist. I'm like, no, I'm not a feminist. I love guys. And they were like, Morgan, if anybody is a feminist, you're a feminist. I was like, say more. Because I was like, well, what do you mean? I just thought like feminists were men haters, and not at all. Like, we want equal rights. We want to have a voice. We want to be seen. We want to be cherished. We want to be serviced. And men are usually fixers and they want to be of service. And so a good female male dynamic is servicer, service receiver. Women are meant to be receivers. Like I was thinking about the archetype. I have this mentor of mine in my life, and she talks about queenhood a lot and being a queen. And queens they're calm, they're very they're classy, and usually a man that's a good match for her is a man who's in service of her and he's still strong. She can be submissive to him, but in a way that doesn't take away from her power, if that makes sense. And so in a really healthy male female relationship or dynamic, the woman is the priority. Like her pleasure is the priority. Like if she's happy, then you can have whatever you want. And I think about how many women are like, well, I don't really like sex that much. Well, probably because you're not being prioritized. Your pleasure is not being prioritized. And pay attention to what you're consuming, like what information you're consuming and what you're paying attention to and holding yourself to. And that's where I really truly believe that the more solo sex you have, the better, because you take back your power in that act. Like working out, eating healthy, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep. Your solo sex is part of your health and fitness and wellness, and understanding this body you're walking around in, right? I mean, your body is just a car driving your soul around, and it does a lot of fun stuff. The more you focus on yourself and learning yourself, now I can listen to misogynistic music and be like, These guys, if a guy talked to me like that, go right ahead, but when I was younger or impressionable, I was like, "Oh, okay, so, that's what guys want or that's what they expect." And so I become the performer and the servicer rather than the woman who prioritizes her pleasure and expects a balanced, healthy interaction or experience with a partner. And then again, starts with the solo sex. This was okay, so I don't usually cuss on my podcast because I was like, I already swear a lot in real life. Maybe I shouldn't swear so much on my podcast. And now I'm like, you know what? 2026, I'm going to go ahead and be me. It is the year of the fire horse. It is the year of not holding back. This is me. I say the things that a lot of people don't say. And I have a friend of mine, and we used to work together. We traveled all over the world together. We were in the fitness industry, and so I was on the front of the house, and I would train the salespeople, and he would train the fitness people. And because we spent so much time together, and we usually did dinner after and whatever, he he would be like, "The shit Morgan says." He goes, "I want to write a book, and it's just going to be titled The Shit Morgan Says." And I saw him recently, and another former coworker of mine, and we had lunch, and I said something, and he goes, "There it is, the shit Morgan says." He's like, "I should have wrote that book." And I have another friend that said the same thing, and they don't even know each other. So anyway, I say all that to say, I say the things. I am your fairy Samantha Jones godmother. I'm going to say the things. I am going to channel Samantha Jones, and I'm going to say the things that might make you laugh, might make you blush, and you actually want to talk about. So do your Kegels. I was thinking about that earlier today. I'm like, maybe I should sign off my podcast with, don't forget to do your Kegels. Did you see that episode in Sex and the City when when they got some kind of magazine? I can't remember. The girls were having drinks and they were looking through this catalog and there was vagina weights. And Samantha was like, "My vagina weights for no man." And anyway, then they started talking about Kegels and Samantha's like, "Oh, they're very important." She's like, "I'm doing mine right now." I love her. She's my favorite character in the universe. Okay, so do your Kegels and make sure you subscribe to my email list because I'll send a free gift to you, a video that you can watch at double speed while you're doing other things because that's how I like to consume uh, material. I'm assuming you do as well. That's my suggestion anyway. And then if you're thinking, you know what, I'm loving the podcast and pretty sure I want to talk to Morgan one-on-one, book a discovery call, and we'll chat about my coaching program. If you loved this episode, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a woman you adore. We rise faster when we're surrounded by women who get it. And hey, if you want more of this energy in your life, come hang out with me. Join my email list at morganbarkus.com. I send out juicy tips, confidence boosters, and unapologetic how-to guides every single Monday. Find me on Instagram or Facebook at Morgan Barkus. I'm easy to find. You don't have to do this journey alone. The more you connect with me and the bold, badass women in my world, the more confident you'll become. We don't shrink, we sparkle. See you next time on Your Unapologetic Life.